Mike Perry versus Tim Means takes place this weekend on the main card of UFC 255, Figueiredo versus Perez, and I can't wait for this welterweight bout. You've got Platinum Mike Perry in one corner, the guy that everyone's there to see. He was originally supposed to be taking on Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler pulls out of the card. Now Tim Means is going to fill in to take on Mike Perry on short notice. Tim Means' business, the Dirty Bird himself, has answered the call, and he will be taking on Mike Perry, and if he does win this one, it will reignite his career, in my opinion, because Tim Means is a veteran of the game, 36 years of age, won some, lost some. If he does get a big win here on the main card of a pay-per-view, which, let's just be real about it, he does not deserve this opportunity whatsoever, but the opportunity has presented itself via a short notice acceptance situation, and Tim Means has stepped up because he knows what this means for his career. No pun intended. He knows what this means for his career. If he wins this one, he can call a shot and try and get something going where he would raise up the rankings. I don't even know if Tim Means is looking for a world championship at this point in his career. I feel like if I was a older fighter that's a little bit past my prime, I'd just look for winnable fights rather than streaking towards top contenders that are on a roll and trying to take on these young savages. But still, he's accepted the fight against Mike Perry. I'm really looking forward to it. Mike Perry's coming off a fight with Mickey Gall. That's very important, okay? Because if this were any other situation, I would pick Mike Perry to win this fight without hesitation, okay? Even after the Jeff Neal loss, I would pick Mike Perry without hesitation. But there is hesitation, okay? As I just mentioned, Tim Means has a real good chance in this fight because Mike Perry had his performance against Mickey Gall, and I know a lot of people just see it as a win, and haha, funny, Mike Perry won a fight with his girlfriend in his corner, lol, ha, funny, his career's on the line. You know what I'm saying? It's a very good thing to do, and it's boosted his name a little bit in the MMA world, and that's why he's on the main card of a pay-per-view now. Everyone likes Mike Perry because of the things that Mike Perry does. I will say this, however, that was a terrible performance against Mickey Gall, and he's Mickey Gall. He's not some like, oh, Mike Perry had a bad performance, but it was against Nico Price. You know what I mean? No. This is Mickey Gall. He's the guy that beat CM Punk and Sage Northcutt. Oh yeah, and as well Salim Touhari. Let's not forget about that savage. You know what I mean? And George Sullivan as well, sorry. While I'm forgetting all of these goats on his resume, but still, that was a terrible performance by Mike Perry. He did not look good whatsoever, and you could argue that Mickey Gall won the fight on the feet in the first round. I thought Mike Perry could have won every round, but there is definitely an argument to be made that Mickey Gall was doing better than Mike Perry on the feet in the first round, but Mike Perry takes him to the ground, gets the job done by just controlling position in the second and third round. But I'll tell you this, man, I was less than impressed. And if you said this after the Jeff Neal loss, I would have been A-okay with picking Tim Means. No problem with picking Tim Means. No problem with picking Mike Perry. Whatsoever, no problem with picking Mike Perry. Easy win. This is Tim Means. He's been KO'd multiple times in his career. He's coming to the end, 36 years of age, taking it on short notice. But because of that performance with Mickey Gall, I don't mind Tim Means' chances. I really don't mind Tim Means' chances. I still think he's going to lose to Mike Perry. I don't think Mike Perry's going to KO Tim Means. I just don't see that happening. What I do see happening is Mike Perry going out there and winning a decision in a scrappy war with Tim Means, 29-28, because I definitely don't see Tim Means finishing Mike Perry. I like Tim Means, I really do, but I think we've seen in his career, he does have finishing ability, but when push comes to shove against good competition, he doesn't really seem to be able to get that finishing move. He got a finish over Thiago Alves. He got a finish over Rick Rainey. This level of competition at this point, and then Nico Price finishes him in the first round. But that was after Tim Means was doing really well in that fight with Nico Price and actually tagged Nico Price in that first round and rocked him before Price came back and did just Nico Price things and got the KO with a comeback. Daniel Rodriguez kind of pieced Tim Means up quite badly, if I'll be honest with you guys. And Laureano Strapoli, Tim Means gets the win there against a young up-and-comer who was 9-2 at the time. Though I was talking all kinds of nonsense about beating Tim Means because he had a good performance against Muslim Salikov, and then Muslim Salikov looked worse than maybe he should against Eliseu Zaleski dos Santos. It's a weird situation to figure out who's actually better on paper looking at records. But Mike Perry, in my opinion, is just better. That performance against Vicente Luque, man. I can't ignore that is a potential outcome of a trained and dialed in Mike Perry. That is what we can get out of him. Even in a Santiago Ponzinibbio loss, people forget about what Ponzinibbio was doing to everyone. Perry took him to a decision, and it was competitive. Don't get me wrong, Ponzinibbio won the fight. He dropped him with a spinning back fist, dropped him with another shot in the fight as well. But Perry was always coming forward, always looking to land good shots. He was not outclassed completely by Ponzinibbio. Don't get me wrong, Ponzinibbio won the fight very clearly. But still, I am liking this Mike Perry. I just hope that he shows up in that form and not the form that he showed up in against Mickey Gall. If he shows up against Mickey Gall the same way that he shows up against Tim Means this weekend, I don't like it for him. I really don't, but I think he's going to honed in. He's training at American Top Team now in Orlando, which I really like the sound of, because in his fight with Mickey Gall, he did not have a training camp really. No head coaches to tell him what to do, what game plan to follow, how many times to hit mitts. It was just a bit of an experiment, I'll be honest with you guys. But it ended up working out for him because he beat a guy like Mickey Gall. I don't think he's going to take Tim Means as lightly. But that being said, he's eating pizza like the... This is the problem with Mike Perry. He's such a meme. It's impossible. One thing I will say, though. Tim Means is an older guy, and Mike Perry's done a lot of preparation for that kind of style of opponent. So even though Robbie Lawler was his original opponent, another older guy as well, by the way, maybe that's why Mike Perry got those extra rounds in with that man at the bar. Because, listen, he's been preparing for an older opponent for a very long time. Look at the guy in the bar. Twice the age of Mike Perry, and he can't even lay a glove on him. You know what I'm saying? Mike Perry put him to sleep real quick in preparation for his fight with the old bird Tim Means. I'm looking forward to it. I just don't think Tim Means is going to get it done. He's been KO'd a couple of times in his career now. He basically got KO'd against Daniel Rodriguez, but sort of put himself into a submission position instead. Got KO'd against Nico Price really badly. He's shown a good chin in his career. I just don't like this one for him. I think it's going to be one too many wars, and I could see him slowing down in those later rounds, because Tim Means has always been a guy in the division that has taken a massive weight cut, and he always looks very, very gaunt on the scales. Don't get me wrong, Mike Perry's going to have a big weight cut as well, but Tim Means is always drawn out in the scales. Look at Tim Means on the scales. On short notice, he's going to be better at a weight cut. I don't see that happening. I think Perry's going to rock him on occasion. I think he's not going to get the finish, but he's going to stun Means enough to earn his respect, because Perry's got ridiculous power. I'm just looking forward to seeing a more in form Mike Perry that's been training at ATT with the likes of Yoel Romero. I mean, just do better, Perry. Be who you can be. Don't be some schmuck that you were against Mickey Gall. That would really annoy me. I am going to be picking Mike Perry, but it's a risky one, man. And it's just because of that last performance that's left a sour taste in everyone's mouths. And that's why the odds are so close. Because people don't mind Tim Means as an underdog. I don't mind Tim Means as an underdog. That's not to say that I think he's going to beat Mike Perry, but I am going to say that he's one of the livest dogs on this card. I mean, Brandon Royval, I don't think Brandon Royval is going to beat Brandon Moreno in the Battle of the Brandons, but he's a live dog. I can acknowledge that. Tim Means is one as well because of the last performance of Mike Perry. I just think Perry's going to get the job done in style by a scrappy, fight of the night worthy performance. 29-28. I think Means might secure a round here and there. I think Mike Perry's going to surprise people with going for maybe some takedowns, because he is brute strong. You saw that in the Alex Oliveira fight. In order to secure himself some rounds, he would just grab a hold of Oliveira, pick him up and dunk him in the center of the cage. And I know the Oliveira win doesn't look so good anymore after his recent performances, but the Paul Felder win looks pretty good. Even though Felder broke his arm in that fight and took it on short notice up a weight class, maybe that's not something we can really dissect, but still, I am going to be trusting Mike Perry to get this one done, but oh my god, it is worrying. And if he does lose, we are going to have to downgrade his nickname from Platinum to Gold. That's just how it works. We downgraded Anderson Silver to Anderson Bronze. We've got to start downgrading that nickname, because Perry needs to learn a lesson. You know? I am so emotionally invested in Mike Perry's career, and I have no idea why. You know? There's just something memeable about Perry where you want him to stick around, and the winner of this fight is going to be in an amazing position. By the way, some of these stats I thought I'd mention. Tim Means the taller guy with a 4-inch reach advantage. Perry doesn't really have the longest reach in many of his fights, but still, Tim Means has got a long reach for the division, a very tall guy. As I said, he cuts a lot of weight for that division. On short notice, I think that's going to be a bit of a problem. Both guys with a ridiculous output rate in the welterweight division. Mike Perry 4.36, Tim Means 4.92. That's crazy when you think about it, man. Per minute. That is kind of ridiculous. But still, 48% striking accuracy for Mike Perry, 46% striking accuracy for Tim Means. I just think Perry's going to get it done Very much so indeed. He does shoot for takedowns as well, does Mike Perry. So does Tim Means. I just don't see him out grappling Mike Perry. I don't see him KOing Mike Perry in the first round either. And I don't like his chances going all 3 rounds on short notice with Mike Perry, who's had a full camp for Robbie Lawler. So he's taking this camp seriously for sure. I think he'll get the job done by decision 29-28. But let's talk about where the winner of this fight is going to be. Big old division opened up at welterweight. Mikel Pereira, Daniel Rodriguez, Sean Brady, Bilal Muhammad, Hamzat Chimaev now making a... Well, I was going to say making a run through the division, but Chimaev hasn't fought a single UFC welterweight yet, so... he's fighting Leon Edwards, coming up soon. Anyway, other guys in the division that are actually putting in the work and going through contenders, dangerous guys. Mikel Pereira would be a great opponent for Mike Perry. I don't see them making those matchups, though. I could see them doing a Mike Perry versus Nico Price, maybe a Mike Perry versus... and now Donald Cerrone's moving down to the lightweight division, so that rematch is out the window. I think they're probably going to rebook Perry versus Lawler after this. If they don't find a replacement for Lawler to try and get a fight later on, I could just see them saying, hey, Lawler, do you want to wait an extra month before you come back again and we'll just make the matchup with you and Perry again? Because it's a good matchup. I'm waiting to see Mike Perry versus Robbie Lawler. I need to see it. And I wouldn't have cared if they didn't make the fight in the first place, but it's one of those situations like Anklia versus Kutalaba. It being taken away from me so many times has just developed my interest in the bout. I need to see Perry versus Lawler. I think that's the next fight that should take place. And even if Tim Means wins, I don't know what they're going to do with him. Are they going to jump him up the rankings like they would with Mike Perry, or are they going to feed him to a Chaos Williams? You know what I mean? Like, that would be a death sentence. If I was Tim Means and I beat Mike Perry on short notice on the main card of a pay-per-view and they said to me, hey, there's this guy called Chaos Williams just KO'd Abdul Razak Al Hassan, you want it? No, I would not want that fight. I would desperately be trying to call out Robbie Lawler and hopefully he would take it. So if Tim Means wins, he better have a call out ready to say, otherwise he will be fed to a more dangerous guy, because if Mike Perry loses, I think it's just safe to say that he's thrown his career away, because we know that the in-form Mike Perry, and by prime Mike Perry here, I'm talking about 26, 27-year-old Mike Perry, can beat the Tim Means of this world. I think he's going to get it done. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there. Risky though. Very risky. Tim Means is a live dog, and he means business, of course, as I'll say one more time in this video, in case it wasn't clear the first 3 times I've made that joke. Goodbye. Toodle pip.